AARO is about to come out with its latest report and a whole lot more. We've got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. New AARO UFO report by March 7th. Former Pentagon UFO Office Director, the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, says his final UFO report will probably be released to the public before the State of the Union on March 7th, or the report will come out March 7th. So we have that to look forward to. More disinfo from the lovely SK. I'm really looking forward to that. What do you think we're going to get out of it? More balloons or I don't even, guys. My excitement level is pretty low, but it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. Okay, in other news, check it out. We've got Nazca mummy fingerprints. I love it. This is how the skin and fingerprints of the new specimens are preserved, that we are going to present to the world March 12th from LA, USA, together with medical and scientific professionals. I'm very excited to see that. I'm about a million times more excited to see that than to get AARO's report. But it is what it is. AARO is what it is. Will AARO ever go back to the side of the light? I think that I fully believe that AARO was conceived in positivity, in a sincere desire for, disclosure, but that it was co-opted. Because AARO began with the U.A.P. task force, which was created by this, basically a grassroots movement sparked by Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon and Tom DeLonge and all that kind of stuff. The early U.A.P. Task force seemed to be sincere. You had Jay Stratton, got David Grush involved, that whole thing. And then the cover-up stepped in, and then AARO came along, and et cetera, et cetera. But I think that in its early days, it was actually sincere. But anyway, check this out, an update from James Fox. This interview with Lieutenant Brigadier General of the Brazilian Air Force, Jose Carlos Pereira. Oh my. Okay, I'm not gonna try, guys. I'm not gonna try. That's as close as I'm gonna get. This interview was a major turning point in our investigation. He confirmed the Virginia UFO crash happened off camera. It sent chills down my spine. Updates coming soon. And he follows up. I believe this is probably in a response to a tweet from Joe Murgia. Of course, it doesn't prove anything, and I'm acutely aware of that. However, it was enough of an incentive to keep digging, and that's why Moment of Contact was born, and it's an ongoing investigation. I will be going back to Brazil soon. Well, I can't wait, James. Speaking of Virginia, there's a really great reenactment of the whole encounter. Now, I'm not sure where they're getting some of their information, honestly. We have, bodies and tubes, alien bodies and tubes, and it says NASA on them. I'm not sure where that information is coming from, because I've, had this ongoing, speculation about NASA and how involved are they in this? They're involved in the cover-up on this, clearly, but are they involved in the programs? Do they have their own UFOs? Are they, assisting in abductions? How deep is NASA into any in the UFO control group? But check this out. According to this video, and again, I don't know where they're getting their information. They're using a railgun to shoot down UFOs, and there is the famous UFO video of a UFO dodging a blast, apparently from Earth. And you've probably seen that, and that is what they are saying as the same technology used to bring down the Virginia UFO. I thought that was really interesting. I would love to see that confirmed and corroborated. But this is the famous video, very compelling video of an apparent UFO maneuvering in orbit and then quickly dodging a blast from Earth. Some people think that's ice particles, but could it be this railgun trying to shoot down a UFO? And they're saying, although that failed in that attempt, that same technology was successfully used to bring down the Virginia UFO. And there you go. That is the takedown of this craft. And, are they shooting it at bad guys? Probably not. You would expect reprisals from bad guys, right? Even good guys should stand up for themselves. But if these beings were of a race that were hostile and prone to violence, they would strike back if we were shooting at them. So the implication seems to be they're shooting at good guys. Obviously just speculation, but it takes us through the whole Virginia encounter, the takedown, if that's what it was. And again, I don't know where they're getting the information about the railgun, or the NASA tubes. If you know anything about the NASA tubes, let me know. But yeah, they take us through the crash and the various witnesses and the army coming in or the military coming in, and the beings wandering around town, and being taken to the hospital to be X-rayed. It's just a really good dramatization or depiction of the incident, including the UFO that came afterward, possibly searching for their missing compatriots, and then ultimately the bodies being taken away, and again being put in the tubes, the NASA tubes. Very, very interesting in that. I mean, if NASA is manufacturing tubes for aliens to be put in, that definitely seems to indicate they're more heavily involved than just covering stuff up, right? So anyway, a great dramatization. Again, I don't know about some of the details like the NASA tubes or the railgun. So if you know anything about that, let me know, because I'm very curious. And I'll link to that video below, and you can watch it at your leisure. Meanwhile, we got a giant mouse penis. Yeah, we have a giant mouse penis, guys. This was in a scientific journal. Leading scientific journal humiliated after publishing fake AI-generated paper about rat with giant penis. Not just a mouse, but a rat. A leading scientific journal faces humiliation after it published a completely fake paper purportedly written by Chinese researchers, which contained AI-generated images of a rat with a penis bigger than its own body. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to joke. I'm resisting. But yes, got some happy lady rats. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I went there. Okay. The Telegraph reports that the journal Frontiers in Cell and Development in Biology published a paper that claimed to show the signaling pathway of sperm stem cells, but depicted a rat sitting upright with a massive scrotum and 4 giant testicles. And it was created by Midjourney. The illustration was created by Midjourney, which added labels to the ridiculous diagram using terms that don't exist, including decicled, I can't pronounce those fake words. So it was just a totally BS article. There was, at least in part, AI generated. And a scientific journal ran with it. And that's why I'm running with this story, is because I think that's important. We're living in the age where we won't be able to tell AI-generated content from real content. And that is very alarming, guys. That alarms me. I'm sure it alarms the editors of that journal. So we need some way to detect AI-generated content very badly. I mean, that seems like there's an impetus on arriving at that technology. Of course, then there will be AI that can get around the AI detector. So we're living in a very weird age where we're not going to be able to trust anything that we see or hear. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, guys. I don't like it. In other more positive news, a breakthrough in quantum measurement of gravity achieved using levitating magnets. Physicists are one step closer to the measurement of gravity at the quantum level, according to the debrief. According to a team whose recent studies move us closer to understanding some of the most mysterious forces at work in our universe. Gravity is the fundamental interaction that produces attraction between all the objects possessing mass in our universe. And it takes us through that. In the experiment, the physicists were able to detect gravity on tiny particles near the boundaries of the quantum realm by employing superconducting devices called traps. During their experiment, they measured a weak pull from a microscopic particle by levitating it under extreme freezing conditions approaching an absolute zero. So really cool research that's being done, and it sounds like, some breakthroughs may be being made. So pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool stuff. Meanwhile, check this out. This is a prototype for some sort of drone. Isn't that wild? That is amazing. Amazing technology. Some of the technology is very alarming. I don't know where we're going to go with it. But, it's super exciting to watch them, us transition into a new era of this, the sci-fi technology. But, you want that technology to be used for good, right? They're saying this technology could be used for security and crime reduction, but, could it also be used for, other purposes that are less good? Possibly. Meanwhile, check this out. This post from the Wand. This is really interesting. I've heard of Project Preserve Destiny before, but if you haven't, I think this is really interesting information and could be important.
So, Project Preserve Destiny, what is the objective of that project, to your knowledge?
Yes. As it was told to me when I was briefed into the project at the school, there's going to be some sort of event in the future that's going to wipe out all electromagnetic energy. And now I don't know whether that's a temporary knockout or a permanent knockout or semi-permanent or whatever. I don't know that. But he said that there's going to be some sort of event, and that this group of individuals, the intuitive communicators, were going to be basically the communications conduit for world leaders, and they're going to be strategically placed all around the world so that they can convey the communications and then convey what that communications is to the people around them, whoever around them, the leaders or whoever.
In other words, they're the only ones who are going to be able to communicate
Rapidly
with
communicate.
the ETs, and then to the humans in the military, because it certainly isn't just human to human, it's ET to human.
Well, that's kind of the wild card, is I don't know. I don't think I stayed long enough in order to find out the different methods this might take, the different channels that
Right,
might
but
take.
you were communicating with an alien,
Yes.
or an ET, so it has to involve ET communication.
Well, that's the assumption.
That's the assumption, guys. So it's spooky stuff about Project Preserve Destiny. Let's hope it doesn't play out that way, and that we have some good guys out there. If this information is accurate, obviously take it with a grain of salt. But if this information is accurate, it's pretty alarming, and we need some good guys. We need some good guys on our side. All right, check this out. This is really cool. Okay, I love Skinwalker Ranch. I'm a huge Skinwalker Ranch nerd, and I'm a big fan of the show. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, and even Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, also a great show. But one of the mysteries is Travis's radiation burns that he received when he opened that manhole cover. Well, Patrick Jackson believes he has figured it out, or at least a part of it out. What caused that radiation burn? because it was a transitory radiation, right? It didn't affect anybody else. It was there one moment and gone the next as soon as Travis opened this manhole. So let's go over what Patrick thinks might be the cause, and you'll see visual proof of what Patrick is saying. Okay, so Travis moves this thing aside, and you really have to squint to see it. You have to squint to see it, but he's going to play it in slow-mo. You can see right there, there is an object like an orb-like, phantomy orb-like object. Right there. Do you see it? Right there? It moves over there. It rebounds off of that wall, so it has some sort of mass, and then it goes back the other way. And, it's obviously way too big to be a dust particle. It's not a trick of the light because, again, it rebounds off of the wall. So it has some form of mass. But look at this, guys. There's a crazy little orb there, right there, that I think Patrick cracked it. I think Patrick cracked the case that this orb is what caused Travis's radiation burns. So, that's some of the scary stuff that's going on at Skinwalker Ranch. Now, I don't think it intentionally meant him any harm, but you never know. It could have. It could have. We need some answers at what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch. It's the real-life Twilight Zone. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love the Twilight Zone. I would certainly want to go there, I think. One of the most fascinating places on Earth, and a place I think where many answers could be found. And there are people actively looking for those answers. Of course, there are probably also people trying to cover up those answers. We heard the story the other day about, the control group coming in and wrecking some stuff up. This is a story Dana Sheehan told about a portal opening up and a Yeti or Bigfoot-like creature coming out of it. And then the control group showed up and started smashing equipment and threatening scientists and, hushed everything up. So, we definitely have some forces opposed to disclosing what's going on there. But we do have active investigators trying to uncover the truth of it. And, it could be like the Rosetta Stone of the phenomenon, because there's so many, different phenomena occurring there on the ranch. And, if you can crack one of them, maybe you can crack them all, right? At least that's my hope. I call it the greater phenomenon. The UFO phenomenon is just one subset of a much larger picture. Then it's not even a distinct subset because it's baked into all of this other stuff. Poltergeist activity associated with UFOs and Bigfoot seen in conjunction with UFOs, et cetera, et cetera. So, so what is that greater phenomenon? What is the big picture? Well, if you can go to a place like Skinwalker Ranch that has so many elements of that big picture, so many of the disparate elements, disparate phenomena that compose the greater phenomenon, maybe you can unravel some of this. So, so hats off to Patrick for uncovering this orb. I love it. Good work. Good research, man. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. I wanted to give you an update on the Steve Bassett interview before I leave. And that is that it is going to be delayed. Steve is traveling right now, and he will not be able to do the interview tomorrow. But he says he is going to come back mid to late March. And hopefully we can get the interview done at that time. So like, subscribe, and there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel. And I will see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.